All right, today we're talking Tyler Guyton, second-year offensive tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. He had an up-and-down rookie season. There's a lot to like with Guyton. He had a lot of flashes of really good football, and we'll break that down today on this film review. We got a great set of plays for you, but if you want access to more content, more Guyton clips, and more film review in general, consider becoming a member of my Patreon account. There's a link in the description box below, but without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, first up, we've got the Baltimore Ravens matchup. There is Guyton right there, of course, at left tackle, the right side of your screen. This is going to be a pass protection situation for Dallas. They're going to slide the protection to the offensive right, the left side of your screen. The center is going to take this gap. Right guard, Zach Martin's going to take this gap. Terrence Steele, right tackle, is going to take that gap. And we're going to get one-on-one on the backside. Left guard, Tyler Smith, right there. On that, we're going to call him a two-eye technique on the inside eye of the guard right there. And Guyton's going to be one-on-one on this defensive end right here in pass protection. This is a tough situation. You can tell by the structure of this defense. If these guys right here are all sliding this way, and we've got one-on-one right here, there's a lot of green grass inside. There's a lot of green grass outside that Guyton's got to defend. He does a really nice job. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see right there the offensive line, center, right guard, right tackle, taking the gap to their right. You can see left guard right there, 73, one-on-one on that two-eye technique. He's working to cover him up. And you can see Guyton on an island right now, one-on-one on number 53 for the Baltimore Ravens. Let's watch 60 here. Watch what he does. Again, good patient kick slide right there at 53, gets a little chip. He sees this green grass. He goes right inside, but Guyton recognizes, reacts, put his hand on his hip like that. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. And just bury him inside, cover him up, and completely negate the inside move. This is how you win. Look at this. You've opened up this entire area for the quarterback Prescott to scramble if need be, and you've also protected against any penetration. Really good pocket right here. Credit to Tyler Guyton how he handled this. But here's what I like at the end of this. Watch 98 right here for Baltimore. He actually works outside. Guyton sees it, and even he gets a hand out there just to shove, just to slow him down. He's essentially blocking two guys when it's all said and done at the end of this play. Now, of course, the big impact is how he handles 53, and that's textbook stuff. Great athleticism, great execution, good pad level across the board, good physicality. Nice rep for number 60, but I love the awareness at the end to just try and get a hand on this defensive lineman to help his quarterback out so that way he can deliver the ball down the field. All right, from the wide copy, watch Guyton right here. Bury him down inside. Look at this pocket, folks. This is awesome. Prescott has no one in his face. You can see Guyton right there, sees 98, gets a hand in there, makes sure that 98 for Baltimore can't get into Prescott's throwing motion. Prescott almost throws an interception here, but you can't blame that on the left tackle. This young left tackle right here, this is perfect. Doesn't get too aggressive with this pass set, good relationship, works down inside, buries him into the garbage, buries him into his help, and then comes off to give a punch right here. Outstanding repetition for Tyler Guyton. All right, now let's go to the running game. There's Guyton, of course, at left tackle, number 60 for the Dallas Cowboys. This is going to be kind of an inside zone concept for Dallas. So you've got Guyton right here. He's going to try and base and reach block this 5 technique on the outside shoulder. We're going to get kind of a zone double team right here between the center and Smith right here, number 73 on this 2-eye, working up to the next level. We're going to get backside cutoff blocks right here, kind of anchor down kind of techniques just to secure these guys. Fullback's going to insert for number 23, trying to cut him off. The running back's just going to work this way and then try and find an angle to cut back wherever he can. This is not a well-blocked play across the board from Dallas. This was not a great job by the Cowboys offensive line, but this is an example of something that Guyton really needs to work on. His initial activity in the run game is solid, but his finish at times isn't what it needs to be. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see right there, inside zone track for the Dallas Cowboys. We got the zone double team on 58. We got Guyton on 96. We've got the cutoff blocks here, the anchor down kind of techniques, as I like to call it, on the backside with the right guard and right tackle. Fullback inserting for number 23, trying to take him on. And you can see the cutback, or at least the desired cutback opportunity for the running back. Let's look on the play side here. This double team is not very good. You can see initially it looks good, but they get kind of separated. They get split. It forces the running back inside. The center does a good job coming off on number 0, but unfortunately, 58 is able to blow this play up right here. They did not do a good job on this double team. But let's look at Guyton right here. This is something I really want to focus on. He gets good contact head-to-head right there. Love a little lower pad level. But right there, he's in a decent position. Just run your feet and stay on him. But he gets beat inside. Right there, he gets dish-ragged a little bit. That's what can happen. You can't allow these defensive ends to shock or shed. Look, it's going to happen. These are good players. But when the guy shocks and shed, run your feet and get movement, right? If you blow him back 2 or 3 yards before he throws you to the side, listen, you can survive on that in the running game. This is what can't happen. You can't get stalemated at the line of scrimmage, then extended and bench press back, and then thrown to the side and have the defender make the play. Finish the block, and that's something Guyton really needs to work on. Initially, good spot right there. Now just work. Keep working, keep working. Not a great job here by number 60. All right, from the wide copy, watch Guyton right there when it's all said and done. Again, he's trying to base this defensive end right here. He gets into him, See how he gets extension against him right away, doesn't reset the new line of scrimmage? Even though I was critical of this double team on number 58, watch how they at least get a little movement. See how they push him back at least like a half yard? Now they end up getting split, so I'm not going to call that a win, but at least they got a little bit of a dent. Guyton got no dent on this defensive end. And look, you don't necessarily have to, but then you can't get dish-ragged, right? You can't get completely discarded like that. If you're going to get discarded, you better be blowing him back 2 or 3 or 4 yards. You have to. One of those two things have to happen. You either have to stay on your guy and base him and reach him, or you have to get movement. Guyton doesn't get any here. I think he wants to try and base him and get some movement and stay on him, but he just can't get it done. He's got to work on running his feet and keeping his hands strong. All right, now we're going to go with the little play action pass. You can see Guyton right there, of course, at left tackle for the Dallas Cowboys, number 60 on the right side of your screen. So this is a pass protection concept I really, really hate. So what happens is you're going to have offensive linemen all work down like this. The backside guard's going to pull this way. They're going to fake the running back this way and look to try and throw like a quick slant or post or dig or something over the middle right behind everyone. They're trying to get linebackers to flow like this and then get something behind everybody. That's the design of this concept. But here's the thing. You're trying to sell run. So everybody's firing off. Everyone's trying to make it look like it's a running play. He's pulling around. Running backs going this direction, like I said. So you have to sell run, and then you have to pass protect as an offensive lineman. So the ball's got to get out of the quarterback's hands very, very quickly. He knows this. Everybody knows this. Now, look, if it's covered, if it's going to be a turnover, you got to eat it, right? You don't throw an interception, for God's sake. But it does put your offensive line in a tough bind. So when you probably watch this play on the broadcast, it looks like Guyton doesn't do his job, but he actually did a pretty good effort here, all things considered. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see right there, they're trying to sell run right here. You can see the guard pulling. You can see the play action. There's no one open, right? Prescott's looking. No one's open. No one's open. Now he takes off, ends up basically throwing it in the dirt. Now, look, when you watch this live, a lot of people were saying, oh, Guyton got beat, right? He gets into 99. 99 works around, forces to run the loop, but he gets near Dak Prescott. You're like, that's not a good job by the rookie. PFF definitely did not give him a good grade. But overall, when I look at the strategy of the play, you're trying to sell run. If he does a normal pass set here, that's going to completely blow up the strategy. You can see everyone's working down inside. Everyone's trying to sell run. It just isn't there. The play action isn't there. The receivers aren't open, right? So Prescott has to tuck it and eventually throw it away. This is not on the young tackle, and this is something to keep in mind. This is a play that looked down as a minus for people watching it, but I tell you what, he fires out into him. This is selling run. Right here, he's doing his part, and then as the defensive end realizes it's passed and the quarterback hasn't gotten rid of the ball yet, right there, the ball should be gone. But here, Guyton keeps running his feet, keeps running him up the field, gives his quarterback, gives Prescott a little bit more of a chance here. And to be totally honest, this is on the quarterback. Now, he ends up throwing it away and does a good job, lives to fight another day. But you got to get rid of the football, right? This is on the quarterback, the receivers, or the scheme. This is not on Guyton. He does his job on this rep. All right, from the wide copy, get a good look at it. Watch how he fires out right there, but no one is buying it. Look at these receivers. What's going on here? Why are we not throwing the football? I understand a receiver fell, but Prescott, why are you not hitting this, dude? This is what frustrates me. Now, look, I'm not going to be critical of Dak Prescott. He's a very, very good player. But this is what I don't understand. You fire off. Let me go back to the very beginning here. You have these offensive linemen fire off, and you have your guard pull to create this throwing lane, right? You're trying to create two throwing lanes. This in cut, this seam route on the top of the screen, and this in cut on the bottom of the screen. It's right there. He's looking at it, guys. Hit it. It's a chunk play. There is no one in his throwing lane. Everyone does a great job, but he just freaks out for whatever reason and ends up throwing it away, right? People were critical of the Cowboys offensive line and specifically Guyton a lot, and for good reason, right? We'll cover some of those plays over the course of this cut up here. And even this game was far from perfect for Guyton. But this is him doing his job. He sells the run. He engages and then runs his guy upfield. The ball should be long gone. The ball shouldn't even be, the ball should, Cooks right here, number 3, he should be getting up, celebrating, pointing first down at this point. Instead, Dak Prescott, for whatever reason, holds on to the ball, incomplete pass. All right, going back to the running game, there is Guyton right there, of course, at left tackle for the Dallas Cowboys, right side of your screen. We're going to get another zone concept. We're going to have 78 steel right tackle taking this gap. We're going to have Zach Martin, base number 92. We're going to get a zone double team here, working up to 23. Smith working to take over 98. Guyton's going to take in this gap, look for anyone coming. Is anyone firing? Is anyone slanting at him? And then work up to number 0 if no one comes. Running back's going to follow this track and then cut back wherever he can find a seam. What's very interesting about this play is that the Baltimore Ravens, I mean, they're very good defense, but they kind of just fly around and just do some very bonkers things. They actually end up having 2 guys in the gap. 53 shoots inside and 92 takes this gap as well. It's really kind of strange what they do, but overall here, this is a nice little run, and a big part of it is because of what Guyton does here. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. We can see the inside zone track. You see how 53 fires inside? Now he beats 78 across the face and gets a little bit of a little holding action there. Doesn't really get called, but kind of bizarre to me, right? You don't want to have two defenders in the same gap. See how right there, how you got two guys in the same gap? That can be very, very bad for defenses. So I guarantee you 53 or 92, someone screwed up there. But if we look at the center and the guard here, again, not great on this double team. Look, Smith keeps working. He gets a little bit of movement up the field. This is kind of what I was talking about before. See how, even though he doesn't do a great job, at least he doesn't get dish-ragged and forces him a little bit away. Still a bad rep from 73, who's a really good player, but at least gives a running back a chance. We got the center working up to 23. He delivers a shot. Good job. Let's look at Guyton here. This is awesome, right? Zone step, eyes on zero, works up, patient, gets a shot on him right there. This is good right here. Now watch his finish. Stays with him, and helps put him in the ground as he goes for the tackle. This is good finish. This is what we need more from Guyton, right? Does his job, patient, good contact, clean football, now finish the block. This is a perfect rep that I want from any tackle on the backside in this kind of situation. This is what you want. This is what Guyton can do, and this is what he did a lot his rookie season. The problem is the inconsistencies, and we're going to get to a lot more to that over this cut-up. How can he get more consistent? How can he finish all of the time? How can he avoid the disaster plays? If he can clean up some of that, he'll be a really nice player in this Cowboys offense. All right, from the wide copy, you get a really good look at him right there. He's looking right at zero, but he's going to check his gap again, works on him, gets on him, engages, drives him back, and helps finish him as he goes for the pile. Perfect. This is what you want right here. Remember, when you're trying to cut people off on the backside, you're actually aiming for their opposite head, opposite shoulder. See how he works so that way he's almost trying to reach and cut him off there? Because that's what you're trying to do by design, and you're trying to force these linebackers and everyone, safeties, to kind of flow over the top where you can either reach them and secure and the running back can work outside, or they sprint to try and not get reached and the running back cuts behind you. Now, at this point, the running back had to cut back so much already because of what happened on the double team, so it kind of makes it look weird, but overall, this is a really nice rep. Once again, you can see the finish. Gets on him, works his head and body to the right spot, and finishes the play. This is what you want from any offensive lineman. Young, veteran, guard, tackle, center, doesn't matter. Nice rep from number 60 for the Cowboys. All right, thank you for watching this film review. The good news is this is just part one of this series. If you want access to the rest of the content, the rest of the plays, become a member of my Patreon, All 22 with Nick Rudman. There's a link in the description box below that will take you right there. Once again, Patreon account, my account, All 22 with Nick Rudman. We've got all kinds of special content, deep dives, film reviews for you, the fan. Make sure you check it out, and I hope to see you there.